Hi, I'm Pav.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to the Top 10 of Anything podcast.
Let's start the countdown.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now there are unwritten rules in movie making. Never hire Charlie Sheen. Always make sure blockbuster movies never win a Best Picture Oscar, and never work with kids or animals. While the last one can be a pain, sometimes animals can be the stars of the flicks. Just remember, never kill the dog. Here's Neil with 10 movie animal facts.
Thank you very much, Pav. So the Dalmatians from the 101 Dalmatians movies were actually a family of over 200.
Oh, yeah.
Marcel the monkey from Friends was actually not a boy. Ross's beloved monkey was actually played by a female capuchin named Katie.
You know what they say. Human see, human do.
Hedwig from the Harry Potter movies was 7 owls in one.
Right turn, Clyde.
Talking Harry Potter, trained owls were used in the Harry Potter films, and the entire first batch of letters had to be rewritten because they were all too heavy for the little owls to carry.
I'm a donkey on the edge!
Multiple animals are often used for one character, but in Babe, the star was played by a total of 48 piglets. Finding Nemo had a devastating effect on wild clownfish. So many people bought them that as pets, they ended up being locally extinct in parts of Thailand, Sri Lanka, and the Philippines. In Jurassic Park, the iconic Velociraptor's growls were actually the sounds of tortoises having sex.
That'll do, pig.
Perfect timing for that one.
In The Wizard of Oz, Toto the dog was paid more than the actors who played the Munchkins.
What's up, Doc?
Over 450 real snakes were used in Snakes on a Plane. And there have been 7 MGM lions used so far, with Leo being the longest serving from 1957 till the present day.
Rip.
Wonderful. Thank you. You've just, with one of your facts, I've just realised one of the top 10 that I've missed off my top 10. So thank you for that, Neil. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast that is number 33 in the Guatemalan comedy charts. We've really hit the sights now.
Oh, I love it.
I know. Top 10 movie animals we're doing today, and we are joined.
Actually, I think I'm number 105 in the Guatemalan comedy charts.
Well,
I'm excited that I'm close to y'all.
We're all happy to be together in the Guatemalan comedy charts.
We'll have to meet up in Guatemala soon.
Oh, the place would go crazy.
Do a live show, guys.
Yeah,
we'll have to do a live show.
The thousands that would turn up at the airport when we get off the plane. It'd be like the Beatles coming back to America. Those dulcet tones you heard there, ladies and gentlemen, is our guest. And returning, I mean, it's taken a while. He was here on episode 2, and now it's episode 87. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Scout. He's back.
Hey.
The man is back. The man, the legend, is back. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm awake. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon for me, so I'm just chilling. I just finished watching The Mandalorian and the final episode of The Mandalorian, and I watched the last episode of Ted Lasso. So my Wednesday is complete. This is what I do on my Wednesdays. So,
excellent.
Yes.
I mean, we can't. Unfortunately, we can't. Like geek out about The Mandalorian because Neil hasn't seen it yet. He's decided to wait until everything's there so he can binge the whole lot.
I like to binge.
Yeah.
But I have been watching Ted Lasso weekly, so don't spoil that either yet. I haven't got to that one.
I'm a professional at not spoiling things because I like to do that like anime. I like to wait until it's the full season before I actually do anything. So like even when I woke up this morning and I was scrolling, then there was Mandalorian stuff, and I'm like, nope, I'm just gonna stop scrolling. I'm just gonna get out of here so I don't see anything.
It's the worst thing about going on social media, especially when something like a movie drops, right? Because people don't even bother like clouding it in the title for the video anymore, do they? They say spoilers, such and such dies, or spoilers, and I think, oh, give us a chance, just
I
give us
know.
a chance.
I just want 5 seconds. Just
Yeah, exactly.
let me pretend
Absolutely.
like nothing happened yet. It's my magical world.
Exactly.
So-
I
Exactly that.
completely agree. So movie animals. Skype, how hard was this top 10 to compile for you?
Well, I have a 2-year-old, and so my life is composed with movies with dogs mainly. And I've watched every single one. I'm just so I don't have to put it on the list. I've watched every single Airbud anything. So
Have
you got all the Airbuds, and then he had kids, and so then there's the buddies, is
Oh
what they're
my
called.
Lord.
And so they have like a series of like 8 films, and then they even have a few slides like a Santa Claus buddy film. So mine's gonna run a little dog centric. Actually, not as dog centric as I thought, but no, it wasn't that hard in that I just love movies, and so finding movies of animals that I think are awesome, it's not hard. But I have literally watched way too many pictures with dogs in it. So
Yeah, what about you, Neil?
Yeah, it was quite difficult actually because you make your top 10. It was another case of I kept thinking of other ones and then thinking, oh my god. I mean, I've got one on there that on the list. I'll leave it in because I'm so fond of him, but it might be classed as just TV. But he has had his own movie.
Okay,
A
that's
lot
fair
of
enough.
research.
That's
So
fair
fine
enough.
with me.
Yeah, we did stipulate when we were messaging that we were allowing animals from other worlds as well. I mean, that wasn't so that I could get a Star Wars creature in my top 10. It wasn't, but I may have a Star Wars creature in my top 10, but I've only got one. So that's all I'm going to say. Right, Skype, kick us off with your number 10.
Well, my number 10 is actually 3 movies because they're the same genre. So it is cop dog movies. So,
wow.
so we got Turner and Hooch, obviously the GOAT. Then we have Top Dog with Chuck Norris and a shaggy dog of fighting crime. And then we have K9, which is Jim Belushi and then regular cop dog. All 3 comedy cop dog movies. Oh, sorry. Turner and Hooch has Tom Hanks, if you didn't know. All 3 very funny, very fun. Obviously, Turner and Hooch is my favorite, but anything with Chuck Norris is going to entertain me. So, Chuck Norris dog movie, yes, please. So, cop dog movies.
Cop dog movies. Cop dogs. Did any of you see the Turner and Hooch remake that they did, like the TV series?
I did. My daughter, it was she was like 1 when it came out, and it was the thing that kept her from crying. She started crying. I turned on the TV show, and literally I watched the season I think 16 times.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many times do you watch the movie, Scott?
Turner and Hooch, we've seen it like with her twice, but
Yeah.
I've seen it probably like I don't know, 10 times.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, she liked the dog. The dog was one of her favorite parts. But the TV show was good. But it was cool that it stayed within the story, the life of the movie actually.
Oh
Right.
right, okay.
So
Yeah, I must admit. Well, you'll see with my top 10 that I've got a couple of dogs, but no, that's a good way to start. Go on then, Neil. You're number 10.
So this might not seem as very original, but I'm really an admiration for it, and that's why I put it in there. It's the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. I will say from the first one, really, but obviously it's in the other ones. But I'll say the first one because growing up, I was a huge fan of dinosaur films for some reason. I loved the Doug McClure movies. I used to always watch them when they were on, get the old VHS ready to watch it. So when they brought along a T-Rex that looked real and then was computer animated and blew everybody away, including myself, I had to put it in there because it was so visually great. And it still holds up now. It's nearly a 30-year-old movie, isn't it? And it still looks great.
Gone 30 movies.
94, wasn't it?
Was it 94? Was it? So
Yeah.
next year then. Yeah, I mean you can't see the seams even now.
No, and I still think it's magical what they did. I mean, they've gone ahead and nearly destroyed the Jurassic universe to me. I mean, yeah, Jurassic 2 was okay, implausible and asked a lot of questions, and then we go to Jurassic 3, which is just tripe. Jurassic World was quite good, and then the subsequent following sequels was awful.
Not been.
And
No.
Dominion, I'm just going to have a little rant. They had such a good premise. How to fuck up a great premise like that? You got dinosaurs wandering around everywhere, and we're just going to put it in one bloody warehouse thing. Yeah, bollocks to you lot. Don't make another Jurassic Park.
Although I think the Jurassic Park T-Rex, I think when he came in to Jurassic World, I thought was really good because he became the hero in the end, didn't he? Spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen.
I remember as like in high school, I was watching the second one, and that's where you got the double. Sorry, I apologize to anybody. I'm ruining this, but you got the two T-Rexes in that one, right? And so it's like I remember that like haunting me, just because he's like in like the background of the city, and it's just like that's crazy. But
we all have to question, how did he get on the bridge of the boat?
As I tell my wife all the time, it's called a movie.
Yes,
it's called a movie, Neil.
Artistic license.
I agree with that, but T-Rexes have got little arms, and that
did they climb? Oh, what happened? Yeah, no.
Yeah,
really Michael Jordan ups maybe.
Could have been.
Could have been.
He has some sick legs. I mean, the dude have a great quad day. I'm just saying.
Could do some real...
It's like every day was a quad day, but it was never an arm day, was it?
No.
T-Rex, never.
No.
He couldn't even pick up a weight, let alone.
Have you heard that the idea that some people speculate that the actual arms, and the actual arms aren't arms, and that they're parts of wings. And
that's what they say.
Yeah, and that it might be a giant dragon.
Right.
I mean, how does the poor fella pick his nose?
That's the real question.
Or even scratch his tummy. If you just
or
got an
use
itchy
chopsticks.
tummy.
But you realize if he had wings, he just looked like a giant chicken.
He
would,
A giant chicken with a giant mouth.
I'll have the leg, please.
Yes. back, run around.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Mind you, that would be terrifying. A 20-foot
Yeah,
chicken,
no.
wouldn't it?
A 5-story chicken running at me. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Let's not bother with that. Let's not bother with the DeLorean. Let's not go back to the future or back to the past and see a real chicken T-Rex. Okay, my number 10, I'm going to go with, this is a dog, actually. It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's Brandy, Brad Pitt's dog, who, now I know there's a lot of, again, talking of artistic license in a Tarantino movie, especially when he's talking about things that happened in history. But Brad Pitt's dog is fantastic in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Again, spoilers, he absolutely rips people to shreds at the end, but all because, I mean, he's just totally Brad Pitt's dog, and Brad will do whatever Brad Pitt wants him to do. And he just needs to give a little kind of sound, and that's it, he's gone. And he's ripping those hippies to shreds. And it is very, very graphic. I will give you that. But also, he's just a very, very sweet dog when Brad Pitt wants him to be. So I'm classing him as a good dog.
You want one?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't remember what kind of. He's a bulldog, isn't he? I think
American bulldog.
American bulldog. But they always look like they're ready for a fight. Those kind of dogs. You know, they never look like they've got like resting bitch faces, haven't they? Because it's just full of folds, and just their face just always looks like it's scrunched up in anger, ready to just bite your knackers off. But
I've never been attacked by it. That's the funny part, is that bulldogs are super sweet.
Yeah,
they're like pit bulls, where it's like they're gonna eat you.
Yes.
But those dudes are just normally like, sorry, dude, this is what I got stuck with.
Exactly.
But I want to lick you right now. That's what you want to say now.
Why did that sound like, Skate, you were talking to me when you said that? Then?
It's true. You figured it out because you remind me of a bulldog.
Exactly. And that is one of the nicest things that someone said to me for a long, long time. I am a bulldog. Right then, Skate, you're number 9, please.
All right, mine's gonna be Keanu. Who is a little cat from the movie Keanu with Jordan Peele, with Key and Peele. And the whole premise of the movie is that Jordan Peele's character has a really rough day, gets broken up with, everything goes bad, and then he finds a cat, and then he falls in love with the cat, and then his cat is stolen. And then it's John Wick, but funny.
Right.
and a little kitty cat, and it is hilarious. There's a spot where they end up fighting versions of themselves. It's pretty great. But the kitty cat is easily the most adorable part of the film. And again, any excuse I can throw Key and Peele into to any kind of top 10, I'm gonna do it. So there you go. Keanu, the kitty cat from the movie Keanu, which you
I'm gonna
probably
have to
never
check that.
seen.
No, never seen.
I've-
have to
I've
try and
never
check
seen
it
it
out.
as well.
It's a very dark comedy. It's very funny.
Oh, I like.
I must
comedies.
admit, I sort of missed the Key and Peele boat. I think I don't know whether they were quite that their stuff came over to the UK as
A little
much.
bit, not as they weren't as relevant. I mean, they started showing it more obviously when he started directing the movies.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And then it was brought on, and I've seen a few, but no, they weren't really broadcast in the UK.
His movies are
Yes.
fantastic. I must admit,
Mm-mm.
Jordan
Oh,
Peele's
yes,
movies.
they're great.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Nope, and that's coming out soon
This
on
week,
TV. Yeah, over here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I haven't seen it yet either. So
Oh right,
I don't
good.
do scary movies if you remember.
That's
I-
right.
That's
absolutely,
right.
Yes.
But this one's supposed to be a sci-fi, so maybe it's not scary.
Well, I loved Get Up, and that was a scary movie, but it was like I love his stuff because it's very bring your mind. And then again, it's always freaks me out that's mind is in this also comedic genius.
Yes.
Mm.
And so it's like I was just reading actually did you know that Jason Sudeikis and Beard, the guy that plays Beard, were in the same comedy company as Jordan Peele.
Oh
Oh,
right. I didn't know that.
okay.
And
no,
and
okay.
they I was watching a thing and they said like that's when they came up with the idea for Ted Lasso. And then but he
Ah.
was not the most famous person because Peele was in there.
Right.
Mm.
There you go. Full of fascinating facts. That's why
That's what I do.
Scout's here. That's why he's here. Go on then, Neil. You're number 9.
So I'm going to say it's the original incarnation again. It's King Kong. I love the old stop motion animation of this one. I know people you can tell are miles off, but it is a 1930s movie. So for Christ's sakes, give it some slack. But I still think it's the best in the original. I love the fact that he had a heart, King Kong. I don't know about you, but every incarnation I've watched of King Kong, and if he dies at the end, it always makes me really sad that he's died. I don't give a shit about all the people he's killed when he climbs up the Empire State Building, the aeroplanes he's thrown, these poor people he's murdered on the way. When he gets snuffs it, that's the break heart bit. But who wouldn't love to have a pet giant monkey like that?
It'd be wonderful, Neil.
It would.
Could
You'd be
you
able to
imagine?
He'd be able to do anything. Sit on his shoulder and get carried around. Yeah, I'm up for that.
Okay.
I also have King Kong in my list because it's King Kong, of course.
Yeah. What number is that?
Well, it's got demoted since he brought it up. But it's number 6.
It's number 6. That's it. Okie dokie. I'll make a note of that. And would you say that the original one, Scout, is your favorite, or
No, I have to be honest. I do. I kind of fight between the two because I enjoyed the new version, the Skull Island one,
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
great.
Yeah,
but
that's very good.
But I also really enjoyed the what's the dude name?
Peter Jackson.
Yeah, the Peter Jackson one was cool because I guess it was like more memorable to me. But yeah, the newer one, Skull Island, and then the last Godzilla versus King Kong was dope, and I enjoyed those.
Do you know, I have to say, I watched Godzilla versus Kong very recently. I'd not seen it before, and I enjoyed it far more than I thought I would do, especially when I thought Godzilla King of the Monsters was so shite.
Yeah,
They did
it was
such a
too
great
much.
job. Yeah.
Skull Island was great as well.
Yeah,
a
it was.
good, fun romp. It was just like action all the way. But yeah, I'm not so sure about the Peter Jackson one. I think there was some really ropey special effects in that one. When they're running with the dinosaurs, I thought it just looked terrible. Considering he came from like the amazing art special effects from Lord of the Rings, and then watching that, I thought, oh my god! I mean, the actual King Kong was amazing,
but the dinosaur stuff, yeah,
the dinosaur stuff was a little bit, but,
and very confusing. You when you're watching it, you can't tell entirely what's going on. A touch of the Transformers about it.
Well, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the original Incredible Hulk, where they do the poodle fight.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It was like, why? Why is it so dark? Like,
Yes.
I understand you're trying to save money, but come on. guys.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. Right, and my number 9 was one of the little music beds that I put in, it's Donkey from Shrek. I think there's a lot of roles that when you get them and they're cast, you think, well, there's only one person that could play that. I think there's only Eddie Murphy that could do Donkey from Shrek. And I think that first Shrek movie, I don't know, I haven't seen it for a long, long time, but I thought it was very ahead of its time, if you like. It was very like Simpsons. It worked in so many different levels. There were little bits in there for the adults. There was a lot of stuff in there for the kids, little jokes that went way over the kids' heads, but an adult would go, actually, that was really naughty. That was a bit of a naughty joke they just slipped in there. And I haven't seen it for a long time, and they're apparently making a number 5, aren't they?
It's been confirmed now with all the original cast back.
So I don't know. I don't know whether that's. I haven't seen number 4. Number 2 was okay. Number 3, I think I may have seen once, but my kids loved them. They were the sort of thing that was on just constantly. Great music, great soundtrack. Right up your street, Neil, with the eels and
they're all there,
all that kind of stuff. So so Donkey at number 9 for me. Any thoughts, lads?
Donkey's great. I'm already realizing that y'all I went with the family friendly answers and you went with the actual like your favorite animal within a movie that's not an animal movie, and I went all animal movies just because I love
right.
That's
fair enough. It's however you interpret it, that's fine.
But Donkey's dope. Yeah, very good stuff. And why he doesn't have his own solo movie, I have no idea.
Yeah, it was weird that they chose Puss in Boots to have his own. When you would have thought,
especially how well Puss in Boots is done. No,
yeah, you'd have thought Donkey would have.
And that last one was amazing.
Yeah, I haven't
the
seen
last
it.
wish. Oh, I have kids.
Okay,
if I'm reminding you, Last Wish was really cool, and then it actually is more the Spider-Man animation. Than,
really?
Shrek animation. Like you can see the inspiration, because that's kind of where they go with that Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse kind of animation with it. So it's cool.
Nice.
But I was gonna. He's on my honorable mentions, Puss in Boots, because it's Antonio Banderas. I mean, come on. And if you have Selma Hayek in any of your films, that's going to be awesome for me. So
absolutely,
even if she's a kitty cat.
Right, let's get your number 8, please.
My number 8 is going to be Beethoven.
I
mean, sorry, but when I was a kid, Beethoven came out, and you're like, oh, this is amazing. Like, and it, like, I love that Beethoven was like also like a murder mystery kind of situation. Like it starts with this thing and they don't even explain it until halfway through the movie, and you're like, why does it even start that way? I don't understand. But then it's like you're actually figured, and then the idea that the bad guy in this movie is one of the most beloved Disney actors of all time is a bad guy. He's the bad guy in Beethoven is from The Love Bug or Herbie. In all the Herbie movies.
Oh, what was his name?
I forget right now, but there was like the 70s, he had like a contract with Disney, so he does like 20 films of them. And so like he did all the Herbie movies, did a bunch of other ones. But it's so funny to see him as the bad guy. But I love that Beethoven is actually pronounced like he is the star of the show, and like he saves the day. It's not just like, oh, it's a dog hanging out with family. It's this actual dog that is the superhero in the film, and I love that very much. So
Dean
Charles
Jones.
Dean Jones,
yeah.
And Charles Grodin, wasn't it?
Charles Grodin, yeah. Bonnie
also
Hunt.
amazing in the movie.
I forgot Bonnie Hunt was in it. Yeah, it's a great movie. It was always great. That was.
Wow, I mean Stanley Tucci, David Duchovny.
Oh wow!
I didn't realize all of those were in it as well. But yeah, and I think didn't that end up having like 3 or 4 sequels?
Yeah, about 4, I think. Yeah, because they were huge. I worked for Blockbusters for years, Scout, and that was one of our top renters for years. The Beethoven films, they just flew off the shelves.
You know, it's funny. My daughter, she liked the first one, but we never really went into the sequel. She didn't seem to care about the sequels as much as all the other ones. Lilo and Stitch, though, we've seen all of those and the TV show.
Right.
So.
And then you've got the live action coming now.
I'm super excited about that, which is crazy because I just found out. I was like, oh, that's great. I'm going to probably be the first film I take my daughter to, which is
nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, the first one where it's me and her.
Yeah. Go on then, Neil, your number 8.
So if I said Bruce to you, would you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's the shark from Jaws.
Jaws. That's my number 6.
Yeah.
I would not have thought that.
Yeah, they
scary
called him
movies.
Bruce. Yeah, hence why in Finding Nemo the shark was called Bruce.
I did not know that. That is
There you
amazing.
go.
There you
Always
go.
give him, Scout. Always give him.
I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn.
But how could you not put? To me, how could it not feature on there? You know, a thing that you very rarely saw all of it in until the end. Even though, and I still prefer it how it is. I was so grateful they haven't gone back and Lucased it up.
Yeah.
And made it look shite in the CGI.
Or remade it. That's the one thing you do.
Like, just a scene where Jaws is just hanging out with his family.
Yeah.
Just like all CGI, like a Jabba the Hutt situation.
Yeah.
You could imagine that they would do that, couldn't you? You could imagine that they would think, right, we've got this amazing technology now. Let's do a kick-ass shark, and it would just ruin it.
Mind you, that would explain number 4, wouldn't it? How it managed to follow that helicopter all the way up to Hawaii or wherever it went. Do you remember number 4? I mean,
Neil, I'm going to say this every single time you bring up something like that. It's called a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that would explain.
Device.
You've just explained.
Oh,
it
why?
Was his family, you see?
Yeah.
Sat
Well,
in there.
why they don't have a background movie?
Yeah.
These days, they would have a background movie of Jaws.
They would.
Like, they would have a spin-off, like
A prequel.
Jaws, what got him to this place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were the tortures? Who destroyed Jaws to the point where he would become this man-eating giant?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you ridicule, but he obviously had a family because the second one appeared in number 2. Number
Maybe
3.
they're all murder. Maybe, like, you know, maybe he had 2 families.
Yeah.
Maybe this is maybe this is John Wick family where he like got his family back, but before everybody was murdered, or maybe he was in love with Whale. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe-
and that's why
daddy
he's killing
issues. He could have had daddy shark issues.
We could do this.
We could do
We could do
this.
a trilogy of Jaws backstory.
There you go. Sat in their little cave underwater.
It has to be. We have to make it even worse by giving him a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him like a
who-
famous.
Who would do his voice?
Oh, I mean, I apologize. I'm just gonna ruin it. If I'm gonna ruin Jaws, then obviously I'm gonna get Rock to do it.
Oh,
The
my
Rock?
God.
I was thinking, you know, let's go to like a Shark's Tale. I thought Robert De Niro did a great job, or Martin Scorsese as the shark and that.
You're right. I mean, he has time, so that would work out.
Yeah.
I think it should be someone like Matt Berry. I don't know if you know who Matt Berry is. Scout.
What,
You
what
ever
is he
watched
from?
What We
That'd be
Do
the
in the
British
Shadows? Have you
remake.
ever seen What We Do in the Shadows, the
is-
TV show?
Is that the no?
He's the English guy. Yeah, he's an
Well,
English.
aren't they all English guys?
Well, that's true. That's true.
It's got a very unique voice. He's like
is-
what we should say is very much a commercial.
He's not the guy
voiceover
from.
man.
He's not the guy from. He's not the main dude, the one from the baking show. It's not that guy.
No,
Right?
that's Matt Lucas. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Matt
Yeah.
Lucas. Yeah, I
Okay.
thought I had some. So you can just imagine.
Have
if,
you
like,
watched Enchanted, the Netflix? He's one of the voices. I'm trying to think who he voiced in that, but he voices in that as well. You'll recognize his voice.
Well, let me look. I'll do some research as we're talking.
Yeah, he's a very funny guy.
Yes.
I probably know him.
There
I
you
mean, I
go.
watch a lot of. What
That's
happened?
it.
Here you go.
Yes.
There you go. That's the Jaws shark
That's
just coming
great.
down, coming through the water. Where are you, Jaws?
Yes.
There you go.
Had a nice
That-
lunch. Yeah.
I'm with you. I fully support this.
Yeah.
We just need to. I mean, look, you're in America. You must know some people in the business. Let's get a pitch sorted. We'll fly over. Let's get it done. Let's get it
Oh,
done.
but here's the problem. If we're gonna do that, then I probably will make this joke later when you actually make the mention. So we're fine.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good. This will be
Excellent.
our second film after the one I actually pitch later. So,
Okay, excellent. Okay. My number 8 is Caesar from Planet of the Apes. So the Planet of the Apes trilogy,
I
actually.
thought about this. Yes.
Because I think he's, especially the Andy Serkis, the new, his whole arc was fantastic.
Amazing.
Was so good. And there is a new, I think number 4 in the trilogy. Number 4 in the
Wow.
trilogy makes no sense. Which I think, are they making now, or they've already done it? I'm not
Well,
sure.
I think they're making, aren't they? But it's not Matt Reeves, is it?
No. But that's. I mean, just as a character, I mean, the animation is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yep.
It's Andy Serkis
It's
being
amazing.
Andy Serkis, but I just think as a character, it was fascinating. Just going from that first episode or the first movie where I think he said no, wasn't it? Wasn't his first word, and then the way that he just came into this amazing leader. I'm fascinated with those whole movies, I must admit. Even the old ones, the whole Charlton Heston ones were just great cinema. And I was doing a little bit of watching stuff on YouTube, and I didn't realize, obviously, when I watched those original ones, the Charlton Heston ones, you didn't realize what they were going for. It was just, oh, look, people dressed up as monkeys, and I watched the trailer, well, the little clip that I had where it said human see, human do, and you just realize that they've just completely changed the roles. And I would thoroughly recommend anybody that hasn't seen any of the Planet of the Apes movies to go and check them out without a shadow of a doubt.
And one thing about those films is something that a lot of people would be afraid to do, which is evolve the character. Because you, in the first one, you fall in love with this guy. You fall in love with Caesar. You're like, man, I want to be on his side. But then as the movies go, you're like, they still make you be on his side, but it's like, it's a little harder because the evolution, because we slowly become the evilness in the thing. So then it's like, I want to be on your side, but you're killing me. Like, this is hard, but I understand because I've been through your story. And I love that. I love that about those films.
It's very, very good. Right, Scout, your number 7, please.
Well, I'm going to go with a horse from War Horse, actually, which is a Steven Spielberg film. Steven Spielberg film. But in this one, it's actually about, like, it's a horse that they used during the war. And but it's like this kid's horse, and he ends up in the war, and the horse ends up helping him, and it ends up being this just beautiful story. And again, I love films that make the animal the star. And so this is another one where it feels like without the horse, obviously it's called War Horse, but without the horse, the movie doesn't work, right? Like, and it's and again, I probably have extra feelings about it just because I think I was going through a real big slump, and I just kind of walked into the film not knowing what I was getting into, and ended up, like, I think the actress that plays his mom looks a lot like my wife, and this is before my wife, just when she was like a girl I might have liked. And then I remember watching, and I go, no, I'm in love with this girl, not the actress, but my wife, the girl at the time. So it was just hilarious. And they don't look alike, but she was a redhead girl, and my wife's redhead. So it ended up being one of those things where it's like, I fell in love with the movie, and it kind of reminded me of my feelings about this girl. And it worked out because, now 10 years later, I'm married and have kids and love it.
There you go.
Scout, a bit of a recommendation. I don't know whether you like going to the theatre much, but the live stage show of War Horse is absolutely amazing.
Really, it is.
Seriously, because I believe it was a stage show before it was a movie, but it's fantastic. Obviously, they don't have a real horse; it's recreated with puppetry, and
obviously,
but it's amazing.
I've never seen War Horse. I'm a big Spielberg fan, and I've never seen it. As a movie, is it a great movie as well?
Yeah. God, yeah. It's really well done,
good.
and it was filmed locally to here.
Oh,
Castle Coombe.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of it was him.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I do love a live show, but honestly, if I'm being truthful, it's mainly musicals. And these days I get catered to with Hamilton and all that stuff.
Nice.
So it works out. But
I would recommend it if it comes anywhere near you to see it. Honestly,
I did not know the story, and I fell in love with it after watching the movie. It's a very well done. It's a long movie, but it's a well done movie, and that's why it's number 7 on my list.
Excellent, wonderful. Go on then, Neil. You're number 7.
So who doesn't love a stoner dog? Scooby Doo. It's got to be Scooby Doo.
Oh, I hate that I didn't think about that.
Now, ideally, it'll be the TV Scooby Doo. I didn't mind the movie Scooby Doo, but I actually thought the movies of Scooby Doo were quite good. But I always wish they'd done a Roger Rabbit and had Scooby as the proper Hanna-Barbera Scooby that we saw and did it like Roger Rabbit. Would have worked a lot better. But hey, they didn't ask me, so.
And this was a time when nobody was going to do. This was like the 2000s, so nobody was going to do that. That's when they realized they can make everything CGI.
Yeah.
Because of your movie, because of Jurassic Park, they realized, I could do this now, so then we're going to do it. So,
and it is really dated movies now. Some of that awful CGI is really, really, really dated movies badly.
Yeah.
But Scooby Doo, I thought Matthew Lillard was a great Shaggy, and the rest of the gang were all there. But yeah, if it had to be a typical Scooby, it'd be the original 70s TV series. You know, when he was the proper stoner with Shaggy. Yeah,
I think it was James Gunn wrote those movies, didn't he? Or
He did,
He definitely
yeah.
wrote the first one.
I think he wrote the second one as well. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I don't mind them at all.
Of the Scooby movies. I'm a big fan of James Gunn. I'm not a big fan of those movies.
Have you? No, they just did a animated movie, the Scoob, which is like Scoob as a kid.
Right? Yeah, I did see that. Well, not see the movie.
Are they nicking our Jaws idea? Is that what they're doing?
Or am I stealing it from them because I watched the?
Was it any good, Scout? The Scoob movie.
It wasn't bad. Now, what they were trying. Now, I love what they're trying to do. They're trying to like build a Hanna-Barbera universe. So then what they did is they tried to make Scooby-Doo a superhero film.
Wow.
So they throw in Crypto and all. Like, if you could think of a Hanna-Barbera, like Dastardly's in there. Like there's so many like Hanna-Barbera characters in the film, which is cool. But I think because of that, it ends up being a lot. But I loved it because the best part is at the beginning, they kind of show how Scooby met Shaggy, and it's great. And it's everything to do with a big meat wheel from like a halal shop. It was very, very good, like a gyro situation.
Right.
Very cute, and that part is probably my favorite part about it. Like just seeing them like be friends, and it just show a lonely Shaggy needing a friend, and it's good stuff. But
and
no, they what?
I was going to say, did they carry it on into his teenage and adolescent years? Do they?
Yeah,
and
they
then
do.
show where he gets the drug habit, hits rock bottom, and then works his way back up. Into
No, they don't show any of that.
Oh.
And they also give him like a crazy backstory, and that he's like that Scooby's related to like Alexander the Great's dog, and so yeah, it gets a little insane.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
So
I have to give that one a little. Put that one on the list for later on. Neil.
The other thing is they actually were working on a sequel, and it got canceled during that whole HBO Max deleting everything. So they actually were working on a sequel, and they got rid of it, which is a bummer because again, I was loving the idea of the Hanna-Barbera verse situation, but and it was an all CGI movie, but it was all like a cartoon movie, but it wasn't. Again, it came out right during the pandemic, so it was like one of those free HBO movies, so it was easy to turn on with the kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was bad. It had all the cute little, like, you know how like Minions, like they have their own little cute little minion and all that stuff, like all the movies these days. So,
right.
Anyways.
Okay. Right. My number 7. I've only ever seen this movie once, but it was because of the trailer I wanted to put this in, and this is from Zootropolis. And it's the sloth from the DMV.
Oh, Zootopia.
Is it Zootopia? Because I think it was it called Zootropolis over here?
Is in
Zootropolis
in the UK, yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
There you go.
So for our US listeners, it is Zootopia. So just so you don't feel like they're losing it.
And so you know what I'm talking about. So it's basically the sloth, which is there like being very, very slow at the DMV, and I think it is Jason Bateman, I think, who played the fox, and I can't remember who it was who played the rabbit, and they're trying to ask questions, and they're in a rush, and this sloth is just there being very, and then they tell a joke, and he really, really sort of very slowly laughs, and it's the best thing about the trailer and the best thing about the whole movie. I can't remember anything else about the movie, to be perfectly honest. I'm assuming, as I think you said you got kids, Scout. I think you mentioned it once.
Yes,
you must have seen this movie loads of times.
What movie? Yes, Zootopia. Yes, they actually have a TV show now on Disney Plus, which is a bunch of little shorts. And there's like one little spot where, like, you know how in the movie she rides the train.
Right.
So there's a short where one of her 200 brothers and sisters decides to catch the train with her, and then her parents have to chase the train down. So the whole time while she's doing her whole movie montage, her parents are actually chasing the train, and it's very funny.
Is there an episode just with the sloth?
There
has to be. I'm gonna have to double check.
Yes, there's a dancing one. I think
is there?
Sloth.
Excellent.
I could be totally wrong though. So
I'm gonna check that out. Okay. Right then. So Scout, your number 6 was King Kong, and we've already spoken about that. So Neil, your number 6, please.
Well, I mentioned him in my facts. I still love this movie now. It's one of the sweetest movies you'll ever see. Is Babe, the little pig. Who doesn't love that little pig? I mean, I saw it at the cinema a couple of times because I enjoyed it that much. Still enjoy it to this day. I always remember showing it to my parents for the first time. They invited me around, and my partner at the time, we came around to show it to them and let them watch it because they wanted to see it. And my mum had laid on bacon sandwiches.
Sounds delicious to me.
Yeah, it was delicious, but I said you couldn't be any more inappropriate. But I love that. That's a real film that plays on the heartstrings, that one. I do like the second one, but I don't think, some people say it's better than the first. I don't think that at all. There's no way it is. I think there is everything that is perfect about that movie. It's a perfect little picture book story that's good enough for children, it's good enough for adults. Just enjoy it, sit back. And James Cromwell is so good in that movie.
He says like 10 lines
in
the whole movie, and he's amazing. Yes,
he is. It's all that facial expression and and everything. And his wife in it is hilarious. She's funny. But
she's great.
Yeah,
I don't know of a film that she is not great in.
No,
that lady is amazing.
Yeah.
And I love that they got to I love that they, in the second one, that they got to feature her.
Yeah, more.
That was, and she was great in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife took me away for a weekend, a surprise birthday weekend one time, and we went to the local theatre and watched Babe on the stage, and it was one of the fucking most darkest, frightening things I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, I mean, didn't know what to expect, but there were sheep being shot. There were it was just like there were kids crying and screaming. It was something I'd never expected to see something like that before. It was great. By the end of it, I thought, because my wife said, yeah, we're going to go and watch Babe live on stage. I went, you're kidding me. Wow. I thought, okay, here we go. And then by the end of it, I thought, my God, this is like Scorsese. This is like dark shit. This is really dark.
That's hilarious.
But it was really good. I mean, I must admit, it was really good, but it wasn't what I was expecting. It definitely wasn't.
So I think the book's a lot darker, isn't it, as well? So they've probably taken it from the book, haven't they?
I think so. But yeah, again, Skype, if that happens to be a theatre near you, go and watch. Take your kids and go and watch.
Kids sounds awesome.
Traumatize them for life.
Yes.
I do a Babe as my number 4.
Oh, that's your number 4. Lovely.
Yeah. And so that one, my daughter loved. I love that one because it's just like you're crying at the end. You're like, I don't know what's happening. This is amazing. He gets the secret code to sheep, and life is awesome. And he's a dog, and he's a pig. I'm so confused, and so good.
So cute.
Tears.
All the animals are so good in it as well, aren't they? When
they're great actors.
They're all great voice actors, isn't it?
That'll do, pig. That'll
That'll do.
Okay, we're halfway through, so it's time for this.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Yes, pop quiz, hot shot. We got a little bit of a quiz. First person to 3, Skype, because we weren't doing this back in episode 2.
No.
If you get the question wrong, I'll pass it over to your opponent, and we get first to 3. They're all going to be about movie animals. Skype, you're the guest. Would you like to go first or second?
Go first.
You go first. I'm glad you did that because this first question is something that you've learnt tonight, okay? Jaws had a name on set. What was it?
Bruce.
Correct. I can't believe that was part of what you said, Neil. Okay, well,
Thanks, Neil.
your first question, Neil.
Pleasure, go.
Who cameoed as the exterminator in the movie Mouse Hunt?
Christopher Walken.
It was Christopher Walken. Very good.
Nice.
Your second question, Scout. In Lady and the Tramp, what species of dog was Lady?
It's a weird-haired poodle. I don't have it.
Fluffy.
Fluffy.
It's a weird-haired poodle. Unfortunately not. So, Neil, over to you.
I may be wrong, but was it a King Charles?
It wasn't. It was a Cocker Spaniel.
It was
a Cocker
I couldn't think of the
Spaniel.
name at all. I'm like,
There you go. So, Neil, your second question. Who provided the voice for Stuart Little's nemesis, Snowbell?
Oh, oh.
Oh,
Rennie Zellweger.
It wasn't.
No.
Over to you, Scout.
was it? No. Was it? Oh man, what's his name? I don't have anything.
No, it was Nathan Lane.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, was it the dude from Birdcage?
There you go. You should always go with your go with your gut instinct, man. Go with your gut instinct.
I was
Okay,
like, or the producers.
That's
was
right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He was
That's
also
literally
the voice.
what I was gonna say.
He was the voice of Timon in The Lion King as well.
He was.
He was. Scout, your next question. What furry animal is Doug the dog from Up obsessed with?
Squirrel.
Is correct. Well done. Okay then, Neil. What was the title of the sequel to the movie Babe?
Babe, Pig in the City.
Is correct. Scout, this one for the win. For the win. What disaster film gave us the immortal line, "I gotta go, we got cows"?
Twister.
Well done, Scout. We have a winner. Neil still hasn't won a quiz, but that was very, very close. Well done. Well done, Scout. So, back to the work in hand. Your number 5, please, Scout.
All right, I'm gonna say Happy Feet. Actually, the penguin from Happy
penguin.
Feet.
No.
Now the reason this is that I hadn't seen Happy Feet for a long time, and I watched it the last few weeks. But all the Robin Williams characters in this film are just great. I don't know if they're probably problematic in that he's playing a Hispanic penguin at some point, but there, or a Puerto Rican, I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I just think when I was thinking about like films, maybe it's just because Robin Williams was in it, but I just loved that character. And then also the main character, Happy Feet, obviously is awesome. But I was just thinking about like the king, even in the sequel, I forget his name now, Lightfoot. I forget.
Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood, yeah.
Yeah, played. I can't think was
And so, but I love that movie because it was beautiful. Like it was great. They looked like penguins, and it was like, just again, being a guy that's been a rapper his whole life, like anytime like there's something that talks about like trying to be something that other people don't think you are, or being something different, like that's always a cool story statement. And I do love that they took this like fun movie and then made it like a green situation. Like, you must save the world too. You love these characters now save the world, everyone. But I did enjoy that. But I was just thinking about, I think the reason I brought it up so high was just because I just was reminded how much I love Robin Williams and everything.
Yeah.
And it might not be the best characters they ever did, but I just love the idea that he was in it. And I was thinking about animal movies. So,
Yeah,
And it's partly written and directed by George Mad Max Miller.
Well, same as Babe, then, isn't it?
Was Babe done as well?
I think he produced it and he directed the second one.
Wow. He's got a very varied career, hasn't he?
He has. They talk about a bloke who takes a long time to get a movie out as well.
That is true. That is true. Very good. Go on then, Neil. You're number 5.
It is. Now, this is primarily TV, although he has had his own sort of TV sort of movie. It's Hong Kong Phooey. Who doesn't like a kick-ass kung fu dog?
Okay, I'm gonna have to pull you up on this. Whereabouts is he in the movies then?
There's a TV movie, an extra length one. That's what I said. It's contentious.
Slide that one under the door there.
Contentious, I know. But you said I did warn you. I had one that would be very.
I thought that was Scooby-Doo. I thought Scooby-Doo was the contentious one.
Scooby-Doo had proper movies. Hong Kong Phooey hasn't, I'm afraid. But
I'll take it. It's fine with me.
If our guest is okay with it, then it's fine. That's fine.
Thank you, Scout. Thank you very
Again,
much.
I don't know if I was thinking about maybe there's like an anime movie about it, but I imagine that would not be a thing because it's definitely
But I'm sure he's cropped up somewhere in a film.
I'm sure there was talk that there was going to be a Hong Kong Phooey movie, and he was going to be like Scooby-Doo. It was going to be a CG character. I'm pretty sure there was.
They actually just did a movie called the Paul Paws of Fury, which is a kung fu dog in a cat world.
Right.
So
Well,
that's
so
as close as they got to it.
there we go. We'll take that. It's Hong Kong Phooey, really, but in a different name.
Paws
It
of
probably is,
Fury, the
actually.
legend of Hank. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, but yeah, he was just cool. I mean, he was a mild-mannered janitor.
He
I
was.
mean, who has a dog as a janitor? Not many people.
No,
And
that police station did.
Oh, they certainly did.
Could
Let's-
be.
Yeah, I was just going to do that.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I think he was just great. He was just fantastic. I've even got a T-shirt with him on still to this
Have you?
day. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, he's a cool character.
Okay, my number 5, and here we go with the Star Wars moment. I've gone for Salacious B. Crumb. I've gone for the little
yeah.
rodent that
Whoa.
sits at the tail of Jabba the Hutt. I mean, obviously there are thousands of different animals from the Star Wars universe, if you like. But I loved him for the fact that he was about as Muppet as you could get from a Star Wars movie. His laugh was amazing, which we heard a little bit earlier on. And also the fact that in The Mandalorian now, that species has cropped up every so often, whether they've been cackling in the trees or roasting on a spit. It's lovely that you still see them.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name. And also, if you go to Galaxy's Edge, you can buy them. You can buy them and they sit on your shoulder and move about and stuff. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
I was really thought you were going to do a Rancor.
It was a toss-up. It was a
that was-
toss-up. Yeah.
That was my bit, was like we could do like a Rancor story, a beginning of that Rancor. why he did what he did at the end of the day. Because they did like that in the there was always that lost scene where it shows the Rancor guy crying.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
And so they explain that more when it happened in the Mandalorian. Oh, it happened to Boba Fett. They said,
Yeah.
"Oh no, this is the reason why that happens." But yeah, wouldn't that love to see their love story, like the guy slowly training him and becoming closer and closer. There's our first film. It would be such a success. Then they'd be like, "What other prequel do you want to do?" And we're like, "We're gonna do Jaws."
Yeah.
And so that's how it works.
That's a great idea. We have that as our introduction movie that maybe $10 million budget that gets $100 million
we can
in the
do it-
box office. And then they
we
say,
could even do a Disney Plus if we had to.
great
You know what I
idea.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's like printing money.
yeah.
That's what it is, Scout. It's like printing money.
Imagine those T-shirts. Imagine
Yes.
the money we make off the merch.
Yeah.
Right. So, Scout, Babe was your number 4. So, Neil, we're on to your number 4, please.
So it's a Muppet, and it was a toss-up between two, but I have gone for Kermit the Frog because he is probably the most iconic Muppet out of them all. I nearly went for Animal. So looking forward to that new Muppet Mayhem
Yeah.
TV series that's coming out. It looks amazingly funny. But I mean, what's not to love? He's the man. He's the leader of the Muppets, really, isn't he? Kermit. I mean, if you think about Muppets, it's Kermit. I loved when they brought the Muppet movies back, as in with Jason Segel putting that first Muppet movie there. I think it's with great songs, great songs,
Great
movie.
Brett from Flight of the Conchords, I think, did those, didn't he?
He did
those
do
songs.
those. I think we mentioned it on a previous episode.
I really love that movie.
Yeah, so do I. I still think it holds up. So the original Muppet movie, and then that one being the icon, the sort of the go-to best ones. But the rest still have their place and have their amusing things. Because we got the Muppet Christmas Carol, which I think is probably one of the greatest Muppet Christmas movies ever made.
Mm-hmm.
But I also really like Treasure Island, Muppets Treasure Island.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't scared to kill Billy Connolly off in that, were they? Quickly.
Spoilers, I've never seen it. I've never.
Have you not?
No, I haven't. But I know one thing that happens now.
Yeah, I still find it very funny because you've got Tim Curry in that as the chief pirate. So if you're like me and you're a fan of Tim Curry, you're going to be in heaven to see him hamming up the place as a pirate. We always wanted that. But yeah, and Kermit's always just funny. He has some funny moments, and we must not forget the Kermit nod after every time he sings or speaks.
Yep.
We
So
all do
great.
it. Pav's doing it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
And
do
they're
it.
timeless, aren't they? It's like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It never ages.
Tell me you've seen the trailer to the Muppet Mayhem.
Who?
You, Pat.
No, I haven't yet. No.
You're going to be...
It is
Honestly, it
amazing.
looks really, really good.
Is it a
Really
new movie
good.
or is it a TV series?
TV series,
Oh,
original
right.
TV
It's
series.
Disney
Comes out at the end
Plus.
of yeah,
Disney
Disney Plus.
Well, do y'all do Disney Plus, or do you have to do a different thing? I don't even know.
No, we
No,
got
we-
Disney.
yeah, we Disney Plus,
we got
yeah.
the
Oh, I
same
imagine
thing.
you do to watch Mandalorian.
Yeah, we got the
Yeah.
same thing.
Okay.
We're just a bit late getting it compared to you. That was all.
We'll add that onto the list then. Okay. It's Muppet Mayhem, is it?
Yeah, it comes out in May. It's even got our friend Kevin Smith in it.
Has it really?
Yeah, he plays a movie director. He's in it.
Okay.
It's got a lot of famous people in it.
Okay.
And
It's
it's
that
all about
Muppet
the
name.
band. Just so you know, it's not like Kermit and Pete, Miss Piggy and all that. It's the band.
Right.
It's
Okay.
all about the band.
Somebody's getting in trouble over there. I don't know what's happening.
Oh,
dear.
oh.
Oh,
you
dear.
hear the screaming?
I sort of heard
No.
something. I heard a
Oh.
little something come through.
I imagine she's watching some kind of scary YouTube video, which is good.
All right. That's not good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you'll be
not-
awake with her all night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watching Turner and Hooch, the TV show.
Yes. My number 4 is actually the mouse from Mouse Hunt. Now, I love Mouse Hunt.
Nice.
It is such a great movie. And you know, a world without string is chaos. I think we've said this before on another episode, Neil, that for me, Nathan Lane and Lee Evans are just like Laurel and Hardy in that movie.
Mm.
And it is very, very dark, but it is so funny. It's on the borderline of being a children's movie to a adult movie, because there's just so many bits in it that are very, very adult leaning, if you like. But it is a great film.
Because it's
And
the guy that what's his name? Oh, I can't. Gore Verbinski.
Gore
isn't
Verbinski,
it?
yeah.
Did it? Yeah. It's
So he's the one that
really
did
imaginative.
Pirates of the Caribbean and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And The Ring. Yeah.
And the Ring.
But did you know when you would have had a chance in the West End in London to have seen Nathan Lane and Lee Evans together, because they were the original cast of The Producers on the
were
West
they?
End. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There you
That's
go.
awesome. I didn't know that either.
Was that before or after Mouse Hunt?
That would have been after. Yeah.
Right.
When they brought The Producers back to the West End. Yeah. Nathan Lane and Lee Evans were the two in it.
Well, there you go.
Any movie that is just, I always think of Mouse Hunt as just the movie version of Mousetrap.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The awesome game. And I was just like, yeah, if you're going to take a game that I love and turn it into a movie, I'm fine with that. Sounds good to me.
I never thought of it like that. But that makes absolute sense, doesn't it? It's like it's the movie version of the game, because that's very good. Well done, Sky. Very good. I'll give you
That's
another
what I
ding.
do.
I'll give
I'm
you
a
another ding for
professional.
that. You are a professional. Okay, you're number 3 then, please, Sky.
All right, so I'm bummed out because I have a shirt prepped for this, but I left it. I can't find it. It's in the dirty clothes somewhere. But it is my Neighbor Totoro, which is a Miyazaki movie. And it is adorable. It is, I don't know what it is. It's like a teddy bear, cat, rabbit spirit.
Yeah.
But that movie is beautiful. The idea of dealing with damaging your family and this little girl growing up, and how Totoro saves the day with this crazy cat bus and all the stuff that happens in that movie. I don't know. I just love that character. Now the shirt I have somewhere, it's Totoro as Godzilla. And it makes me very happy inside, because it just imagine Totoro destroying the city like Godzilla. But I just love the idea, and I always love his films because they're always deeper than what they seem to be. And this is already deep. You're dealing with loss. You're dealing with being away from your mom. You're dealing with growing up. There's a really dark spot in there where they're trying to find their sister in a water in like a rice field, and so everybody's looking for a drowned kid, and it's like, oh gosh, this is rough. But it's and then it just makes the countryside of Japan look wonderful.
And they're just beautiful animation. Have you finally watched one yet, Pa?
I still haven't. I mean, the amount of times that people bring up Miyazaki here, and I keep saying, yeah, I'm going to watch one. I have to find some time and watch a couple, I think.
Spirited Away is on one of the streaming right now.
Is it?
And that's a very accessible one to get into, because, that's for kids and adults. purposely. I mean, I enjoy things like Kiki's Delivery Service, which is very much
Amazing.
like a kids aimed towards kids, but it's still got enough in there.
Cat Returns, also very good.
Yeah,
That could have been an animal one too.
So the My Neighbor Totoro, and is that the name of the movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Totoro
is.
is the guy.
Totoro
So he's
is
like
the-
a spirit. He's a forest spirit,
Right.
and so he can help the forest grow. But there's like little Totoros running around, and it's very cute. But yeah, it's one of the first ones, if I remember correctly. One of his first films.
but really get into his stuff before you watch Graveyard of the Fireflies. All right,
Right. Okay.
because that is hard going.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever seen. I don't even know what that is.
That's the one where is it to do with the Japanese? I've only ever seen it once. I found it very depressing. It's the POW.
Okay.
All of that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
So
I
it's
don't
quite
know that
quite-
one for some reason.
Yeah, it's not overly popular because obviously it wasn't aimed towards kids. It's sort of an adult animation, but it was done by
right.
that studio.
Oh, Ghibli. Yeah.
And so people have watched it thinking it was because it was from Ghibli, it was for kids, and it really isn't. And you aren't going to feel happy at the end of that one.
Yeah.
All right. But they do have those moments in the movie, in the movies. There's always those moments. They don't shy away from, loss, grief, and all of that. They really don't. They show it as it should be because obviously a different culture and everything.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay. Right, and Neil, you're number 3.
So it's right turn, Clyde. It's Clyde.
That's my number 3.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Number 3. Yeah.
I've reinvigorated with these movies because I found we have a channel called ITV4 here, which always seems to show random obscure movies I hadn't seen in a while. And they kept showing Every Way But Loose. And I thought, loved it, watched it a couple of times. Could I find the sequel? Could I? Heck. But I did eventually. They did show it again. And
was it heavily cut or dubbed?
No, because it was on about 11 o'clock at night. So it was fine. The only thing I think they did do was cut some of probably the inappropriate bits out or language. Right. I'm not sure because I haven't got a strong recollection of it. It's been a long time since I'd seen those movies. But they are so funny. They are so good. So good. With the Black Widows and and who didn't love Clyde? Who wouldn't want an orangutan that would just greet your neighbours? And all of that.
Is this the I don't know this.
Clint Eastwood.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Any which way but loose. Have you never seen these, Scout?
No.
Oh, they're very good.
I've seen one of them with Clyde, and I was like, "Is that what it is?" And so then I looked it up, and I'm like,
"Yeah, they're very."
It's probably one of the sequels.
Yeah, because it was Any Which Way You Can, and
the one I watched was the one where it was somebody not. It wasn't Clint Eastwood. It was some other guy as that character, if I remember.
Right. Every Which Way But Loose is the first one, isn't it?
I can't remember which way around they went, but
yeah, I think it is.
Philo Beddoe was the character's name.
That's it. Jeffrey Lewis was his
Jeffrey
buddy.
Lewis, that's right. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I need to try and find. Well, I'm gonna have
the ITV4. Keep looking because they keep cropping up on there.
This is not a sport. This is not a name one, but I wanted to bring this up just because I found this out because of y'all, and so it was the Mean Machine.
Okay, the British one with Jason Statham and Vinnie Jones.
The soccer movie.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But then I didn't realize that it was actually used from the script from the original movie, the original football movie, like the American football movie. And the guy that wrote that script actually used that script for the Mean Machine British movie.
That's right. It was just a British remake of the American film. They I mean, that's how they advertised.
Well, no, because they didn't use. So the crazy part is the original film. They didn't use that script. That script was inspired by it, but they never actually used the script. So that guy used that script on the other one, which is
right.
Oh, right.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't know that until I went on a whole binge of football movies, English soccer, and English football. And for me, it's like I went on a whole binge watching every single one I could. And that was one that made me laugh. I was like, "Oh wait, this seems like it's related to something." And it was exactly as a remake of a different kind of sport. Which
did you watch Escape to Victory?
I did.
Oh,
so
Do you not like it, Neil? Do you not like Escape from Victory?
I just can't get over Stallone in goal.
I don't know. I love that movie. Well, it was in my
Maybe
top
I
10
need to
sports
watch it
movies.
again. I need to
So
watch it
in
again.
ours it's just called Victory. But
Right.
That's right.
But yeah, no, I watched that one. Oh, again, my favorite one was probably the one which I didn't understand was a real thing, which is the one about Clive, or the coach that joins the team of he joins the team that he hates and then he tries to destroy it. Oh, what is it called?
Ooh, what one's that?
It has a great actor in it. I'm looking up right now.
Okay, I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I can't.
It's
But
like
yeah, I would Neil. I would recommend going back and watching it because I watched it. Oh my god, I can't remember, a couple of months ago, and it's just after Pele died.
Right.
And I really enjoyed it. It was
I need to
so
watch it
much.
again.
It was just so good, so much fun.
I seem to have this, I don't know, not like a negative view of it, just a view of it that wasn't very good.
The English football, real footballers can't act for shit. They're terrible actors. They're
terrible.
They
we
are
learned that
awful.
in the third Goal movie, which was terrible anyways. But,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they had all those guys in it. Oh, Damned United.
Damned United.
About Brian Clough. Brian Clough.
So I couldn't believe this was a real story. I'm like, wait,
Yes.
how is this a thing? Like, wow, this is crazy. I remember telling my wife, she's like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, no, this is like, I don't understand how this is a real life thing.
Yeah, Brian Clough was a character, was a larger than life character, and that's a great movie.
It is a good movie. Scout, you want to have a look at some YouTube videos of Brian Clough? I mean, he was the character that when they got a pitch invasion, he ran on and was clumping all the fans.
Yes,
he was. You can see it. He ran on. He didn't give a shit. He was punching them.
Yeah, they use him as a reference for lots of other films and other things. And I'm like, oh, he must have been amazing. And it's like, you're seeing this part, and you're like, that's weird. But then it's like, oh, no, I see. This guy was pretty
I mean, there was no taking away. He was a brilliant manager. What he achieved and everything. He was.
What I would say is think of Ted Lasso and go 180 degrees and walk the other way, and that's who Brian Clough was. He was the complete antithesis of Ted Lasso, but he was very successful. Very successful. Okay, so my number 3 was Clyde, the orangutan from the Clint Eastwood movies. So, Scout, your number 2, please.
Marley from Marley and Me.
Oh, get the tissues.
Yeah, I mean, you could have went Old Yeller here, that kind of thing. But again, this was a movie I watched with my kid here, and you only see it that one time because it's a lot to watch.
Yeah.
And rewatching it was like I had to stop it before everything went bad, right? So because I wasn't gonna have my 2-year-old fall in love with the dog and then realize that it's not gonna live. But man, such a cool
it's a good
movie.
life lesson. It's a good life lesson, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Traumatizing at that.
She has not learned that lesson yet.
Yeah.
I stopped it. But no, I love that movie because it starts in the beginning. You get lots of laughs, but then it's like you're watching this love story of a family and their dog. And love it. Love the dog in the movie. Yeah, it's such a good film. Again, just makes me happy when I think about it, but it is very sad at the end. But that's how it is when you lose an animal or a pet. That's how it feels.
That's true. Yeah, we've gone through it as a family just last week, so that was a bit raw.
Sorry,
you weren't to know, Sky, so don't worry. But you're absolutely right. I don't think, and as I've noticed over the last week, when somebody asks how you are, you can tell if they're a pet owner or if they're not. Because if they're a pet owner, they genuinely have empathy for you. If they're not, you can see people's faces glaze over because they don't quite understand why you're so upset that you've lost a pet. And it's just how it is,
Well, they're a part of the family, I always
Indeed,
say.
absolutely are. But that is a good one. I think I've only ever watched that movie once.
Yeah, it's too much to watch it over and over again.
Yeah, it's far too much. Yeah,
but it's a great story of that. relationship, and it's like it makes you feel that way, and like who wants to feel that way? Who wants
Exactly.
to feel that loss? But it's very luckily you're laughing so much. You're like,
Exactly.
oh, I'm cool.
I'm laughing on the outside, but I'm crying on the inside.
It's so rough. Yeah.
Go on then, Neil. You're number 2.
So I have put a Star Wars character, and I put quite an obvious Star Wars character in it, and it's Chewie. Because I think, he's an animal. The Star Wars universe wouldn't be the same without him, because we're so used to him, I suppose. I think he's a great character, and he had a bit of emotion in him when he lost hand.
Oh,
didn't
of
he?
course,
What
absolutely.
a roar! So yeah,
heartbreaking sound that was.
it was.
Yeah, it was
And
rough.
I loved a bit of Chewie.
That sounds
Oh,
awful.
wow.
It does, doesn't it?
I
There you
mean,
go.
I'm glad to hear about your love life. Thanks for sharing that.
Wasn't it always that joke? Why was Han Solo crying when he was eating his tea? Because the meat was chewy.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's
There you
not
go.
awesome.
You can have
That's
that one for free.
There you
But
go.
yeah, I just think, if we're going for, in my eyes, probably one of the, and I'm going to say the I word, one of the most iconic movie animals out there. I know it's not a real animal, but it was real yak hair. Come on. It's
Yeah.
halfway there.
I mean, to be fair, I would look at Chewie as more of a companion than an animal.
Well, couldn't an animal be a companion?
Yeah, but you know what I mean? I mean, he's more like a mate. He's like you would be my Chewie.
Yeah, but
Is that, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I
but you
apologize because the most iconic is Barf, obviously.
Barf.
Oh, from oh man, from Spaceballs.
Oh,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Of course,
John Candy.
John
As
Candy.
as a dog.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sorry, I apologize.
That's
But
right.
I
yeah,
mean, he looked
Oh,
like an
I
animal,
100%. Yeah, it was great. You're right. Animal. I agree with you though.
Yeah.
Very iconic as Chewie.
Yeah. There's no
Very
way you
good.
can't look at that and think, oh, that's an animal. All right. It talks
No,
and
that's true.
walks,
I mean,
but-
we're all animals. Aren't
Yeah.
we? We're all animals in the end. Okay, my number 2 is the dog that started it all. So my number 2 is Daisy, and that's John Wick's dog.
Oh yeah,
Because
sure.
if it hadn't have been for Daisy,
we wouldn't have
then
John Wick.
the bogeyman would never have come back. So for me, I mean, Daisy's not in the movie for long, and spoilers, that movie.
It doesn't work out for Daisy.
No, it commits the
doesn't.
ultimate sin in killing the dog. You never kill the dog.
But as they
Um,
said, if you listen to the commentary, the reason they did that was to make you root even more for John Wick to kill him.
Absolutely. And John Wick is one of those movies. Sooner or later, we've got to do top 10 revenge movies because that's going to be my number 1. Spoilers for that episode.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm not going to be on that one, but it's Death Warrant.
Okay.
Is that
okay.
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No. It might be wrong, but there's a movie that was a remake. It was by the dude that did. It was Kevin Bacon, I think. Yeah, it was Kevin Bacon, and it was the dude that did all the Hostel movies. And,
Eli Roth.
Yeah, and it's
Or Eli
that-
Roth, I should say.
I can't. I might be wrong on Death Warrant. I don't think it's called Death Warrant. I think that's a different movie, but I'm looking it up now.
I was thinking of the Jean-Claude Van Damme one. I remember that.
There was a
coming out.
Jean-Claude Van Damme movie called Death Warrant. Yeah, I don't think it was Death Warrant. I think it must be something else. But I'm
No,
sure
but this movie is Kevin Bacon murdering a bunch of drug dealers. It's
is
great.
it? Is it good?
Yes.
Is it? Oh,
It's super gruesome.
Oh, I have to watch that.
I'm looking it up right now, so I'll try to
Okay.
get the actual name. Sorry.
But yeah, we're
That's okay.
digressing. You'll have to come on for that one, Scout.
Yeah, we'll have to do...
now that I brought it up, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come on
I've already
for
given
that.
my number 1, so you've
Yeah.
maybe given your number 1. Okay, so that's it. So before we reveal our number 1s,
What was your number 2 again, Pav?
my number 2 is Daisy.
Oh,
John
of course,
Wick's
yeah.
dog.
Sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
that's where we
Just
digressed.
literally talking about it.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I got confused when you said Daisy, the original dog. I thought I was thinking, oh, like back in Lassie's day, like old Shep or something.
Oh yeah, no. I just thought that it was the dog that started all the killing. You know,
Yeah.
the hundreds and hundreds of people that have died at John Wick's hands. Okay, before we reveal our number 1s, Scout, do you want to give us your rundown from 10 to 2? And,
sure.
And then Neil can do the same, and then I can do the same, and then we'll reveal our number 1s.
All right. So it was number 10 was Cop Dogs, Turner Hooch, Top Dog, and K9. You got number 9 was Keanu. Number 8. Stop! No!
I don't know what's going on.
We suddenly farted somewhere.
My Alexa just decided to start naming things in my ears.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Okay.
I suddenly thought they had this noise. I thought, oh no, is his fart machine gone off or something?
Oh no, I should tell you that story, but all right, so 8 Beethoven,
Yeah.
7 Warhorse. Oh wait, yeah, 6
Yeah.
King Kong, 5 was Happy Feet. Oh wait, was it?
That's
Happy
right.
Feet?
Yeah, that's right.
3,
Four.
4 was Babe.
That's it.
Sorry, I changed a lot of things. 3 was My Neighbor Totoro,
Yep.
and number 2 was Marley and Me.
Wonderful. Neil, you're 10-2.
Okay, so it was the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. Number 9, King Kong, but I like the original one. Number 8 was Bruce, Jaws the Shark. Number 7, Scooby-Doo. Number 6, Babe. Number 5, Hong Kong Phooey. Contentious, I know. Number 4, Kermit the Frog from the Muppets. Number 3, Clyde. Clint Eastwood, ape. Number 2, number 2, Chewie from Star Wars.
Don't call Clint Eastwood an ape. That's not fair.
That's not nice.
No, not at all.
I said
know
the
he's
Clint
90
Eastwood
odd.
ape.
Oh, right. Okay.
Still
Mine was
directing movies as well at 90.
I know. My number 10 was Brandy, the dog from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. 9 was the donkey. Was Donkey.
Was
from
the
Shrek.
donkey.
8, Caesar from Planet of the Apes. 7, the sloth. I'm sure the sloth's got a name. I'm sorry I didn't work out what it was. From Zootopia / Zootopolis. 6 was Jaws. 5, Salacious B.
Flash
Crumb
is
from
his name, by the way.
Thank you very much for that. Always with the facts there, Scout. It's what he does. It's what he does. 5, Salacious B. Crumb from Return of the Jedi. 4, the mouse from Mouse Hunt. 3, Clyde the orangutan. And 2, Daisy, John Wick's dog. So, Scout, what is your number 1 movie animal?
It's gonna be Mufasa from Lion King.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mufasa.
So
Ooh.
Simba's great, but I'm sorry, I want Mufasa as my dad. Sad story, sad situation, but it's like anytime you can have James Earl Jones say anything, it's gonna be awesome. And
Indeed.
such a great movie when I was a kid, and the remake was what it was, but it was just a great story. Again, I think that Mufasa is just a pillar in that film because it's what makes him who he wants to be, makes him want to become that person. It's I mean, though it's Simba's the star, Mufasa's the catalyst, and I feel like dad, he gets a sweet dad moment where he's like trying to teach him and help him grow. And I don't know, I just love that character. I love that. I love that whole thing. Lion King's a beautiful movie. And so Mufasa, it's a hold up between Mufasa and Simba, but it's always going to be Mufasa for me. Such a catalyst for that storyline, and good stuff.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
And like you say, the
good.
voice, James
Yeah.
Earl Jones is just that voice just wins it from everything. Go on then, Neil. You're number 1.
So you've already mentioned this one, Pav. It was it's Donkey from Shrek.
Oh right, okay.
I just think this creation that Eddie Murphy made in the animators is just nigh on perfect. I think it's almost like Eddie Murphy. He's the star of each movie. He's hilarious. Facial expressions to all his dialogue is so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, they really should do a Donkey standalone movie because he is so funny. And it doesn't wane on any of the movies. So I watched them all. I do watch them quite regularly, especially the first 2, because they're near on perfect movies. But there's questions in the other 2. I know people don't like them as much, but I would say watch them because they really do have their funny moments again with Donkey. And he just makes me laugh so much.
Yeah, and he's had sex with a dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, what
What
else?
more?
Can,
I mean,
what,
we don't know that for sure.
But
Well,
they have,
because
they
the
have,
babies.
like, they have babies. How does that work?
Flying
Yeah.
donkeys that breathe
Maybe we
fire.
can make the prequel of or his story, make it rated R.
Yeah, or do
That would be good.
an OnlyFans version.
Yes, yes.
Donkey's OnlyFans page,
Oh,
Dragon
Lord.
Sex.
I'm sure
That's-
there's something like that already out there. Neil. I'm sure there is.
Yeah, we're not gonna. No one, please search that. guys.
No,
Unless
no,
that's the
because we
thing.
want to make the
That's the
money
thing
out
for
of
you,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that T-shirt.
Oh
All
my
right.
God. Goodness me. Okay, my number one is Rocket Raccoon. For
Dang
Marvel.
it!
I mean, it's Marvel at their best. How it makes you care for a talking raccoon as well as a talking tree.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 because I think it's going to be very, very, very sad, but Rocket Raccoon centric. I think we're going to find out. We're going to get the story of like his story. I think in that movie, how he became what he is.
And the last James Gunn Marvel movie.
Indeed.
He's
Let's
gone
see if
now.
like his magic can rub off on DC because it needs it. It definitely
Doesn't look
needs
like it is.
I don't.
Looks like his magic is destroying it. It worse.
We have to. All we can do is wait and see. But I must admit, there's a lot to like. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies are my favorite Marvel movies. I think there's a lot of heart and soul, and there's a lot in that character. And brilliantly voiced by Bradley Cooper as well. So,
which still boggles my mind.
Yeah,
that doesn't. There's no part of it that sounds like Bradley Cooper.
No. And even when there's video, we'll put it on the video playlist for the Patreon top heads. But there's video on YouTube of him doing the voice in the studio, and he gets himself in some real weird positions to do that voice. But like you say, you wouldn't know it. I wouldn't know it's Bradley Cooper doing it. He's very, very good at that. Okay, we've got a few honourable mentions just to go through. Hey up, we've got a new hello there.
Hello.
She has a shark hat for some reason.
Wow, nice shark hat. Lovely.
Already promoting our new movie.
Yep.
Look at that, yes.
Yeah.
That's our merch from the prequel of the.
Yeah.
Jaws.
Beautiful.
Oh dear. Anyway, Corey Ogilvy said Jarly, the Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame, loyal, crafty, tough, lovable and goofy. I think it was a goat. I think that was. Stu Grant said Roger Rabbit, Sid the Sloth, Fred the Basset Hound from Smokey and the Bandit, the Marmot from the Big Lebowski, the Crow from The Crow, Fozzie Bear and Digby. At and Why Not Pod said, I mean, it's Pascal in Tangled. Hello. Kirsten Bryn said, Babe the Pig. That is all. And then Jen Berg said, Kirsten, I was coming on here to just say that Babe is the only correct answer. And Joanna said, the Chihuahuas from Beverly Hills Chihuahua. There you go. That's it. We've done it. So before we say our goodbyes, Skype, do you want to tell everybody again about Flows for You and what you get up to?
Yeah. She's going to tell you all about the Chihuahuas.
Oh, Chihuahuas.
Yes. And Zootopia. All she's trying to do is she's trying to get her voice changed using the voice changer because it's her favorite thing to do.
Right.
So let me put her down.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait. Here you go. Give me a second. Don't cry. Yeah, so Flows for You. All right, come back. Come
on. See? They just
Oh.
start the tears and away we go.
We're all smitten.
I am so sorry, guys.
That's
That's
okay.
all right.
That's okay.
Her foot got stuck.
Oh dear.
Aw.
Well, so what I do is on Mondays at 5 p.m. CST, for us, it's probably like, I don't know what time it is for y'all. And what I do is we do a funny comedy show where we interview people. Then we actually do a quiz that I've never won. I've done over 150 episodes and I've never won a quiz.
A bit like Neil. There you go.
Well, you seem a little, it seems like Neil has a chance. In mine,
right.
I have no chance.
Okay.
No matter if I get every question right, I'm still going to lose somehow. And then what we do is we actually make up a rap song about the entire thing, and I actually make up a freestyle rap doing the thing. So have I ever rap for y'all guys? Has that been a thing I've ever done?
I think you did do something in the first episode.
Okay,
I'm pretty
cool.
sure you did.
Just
Yeah, because we were wondering what that meant, and I think you did But we go back and listen to the second episode, the Harrison Ford episode. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so that's what I do is I make a rap song, and then we have a new bit where somebody gets to be the therapist of my co-host, and he has to yes and whatever. So there was a spot. I can't believe Godzilla did not make it on this list, but
Yeah, absolutely.
is in love with Godzilla, and somebody during one of these things said, "So tell us about your love affair at Godzilla." So he had to explain how his love affair at Godzilla works out in his own life with his girlfriend, and it was very funny. So, but yeah, we do that every week. You can check it out anywhere that you look at podcasts that flows for you. Flowsforyou.com, and we have it everywhere. We live stream. We're on YouTube at Flows for You. The number 4, the letter U, as right above me. So if you hadn't seen that, there's a cool sign that I handmade for Flows for You. But yes,
nice.
Thank you so much, guys, for letting me be on the show. By the way,
no problem at all, mate.
Thank you for coming.
It's been way too long. I will put the link to your website on the show notes. On our or wherever you get your podcasts, and on the YouTube as well. So just click on that and you can see more about what Scout can do. Before we say our goodbyes, Neil, do you want to tell it? Oh, and before we say anything else, hello to, I'll find their names, Stephanie Vrabel and Simon Duffield, our new Patreon top heads.
Woo-hoo!
Thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you, Simon, for your support.
Guys.
Bless your hearts. You literally keep the lights on. So thank you so much for your support. Neil, do you want to tell everybody how they can get in touch with us and all that gubbins?
Absolutely. So come and help support the podcast at patreon.com/top10pods, just as Pav just said, where you could get all sorts of rewards like being a guest yourself. Email us at top10pods@hotmail.com. You can find us on all the social media sites at top10pods. Do please give us a click, give us a like, and check out all of our links via the LINKTREE. You can find the link in the show notes. And please do come, subscribe, leave us a review and rating wherever you get your podcast from.
Indeed. And also on the show notes, there's the podcast merch. We got the top 10 top heads, top 10 shirts and everything, cups, mugs, all sorts. Just click on the link there as well to get all of that kind of stuff. Thank you again, Scout. I promise it will not be 85 episodes before you come and join us again. We will make sure it's not that long next time. But thank you for joining us, mate. It's been so much fun.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Again, to be able to talk movies to people is very exciting for me. So I love it very much.
Excellent. Well, you have a wonderful day. Neil, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Scout. It's been great to see you again, mate. And thank you very much, Pav. See you again soon.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Simon. Thank you to all our top heads. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and we'll see you later. Let's go start the countdown.
10, 9,